Hello, welcome to Ekidel, where we train future civil and structural engineers. My name is Fashe Ochet. So today we want to proceed. Last time we have been able to, design the foundation for this particular structure, and as you can see, this particular building, we discover that we have different levels in this structure, and we have been able to, show you through this video how to model this kind of structure up to the level of providing your foundation for those structures. And before we proceed, I want to tell you what we are going to be doing in this video. And before that, I want to say thank you for always liking and subscribing to our channel, and always liking all our videos as far as Ekidel is concerned. Is that okay? All right, thank you so much to all of you. And also today, what we'll be looking at is how to do our connections in this particular video. Is that okay? How to do our connection, because it's very, very important, and I'm going to be explaining some things in this part. Is that okay? Because last time I told you that there's something I'm going to be explaining in this scenario, because you notice that this particular, for example, this particular trusses, it has its own dimension. You can see top chord is showing UKA 90 by 90 by 12. That's double angle, and that's why you are seeing 2x UKA. That 2x UKA means a double angle iron. Is that okay? Double angle iron, and that's the size of each of those angular. That means 90 by 90 by 12. Is that okay? All right. So that is that. So now, since we have said about this, and if you look at this particular structure, they are having the same width. Can you see? The width here to this place is the same thing from here all through to the end. Can you see now? So in this kind of case now, if you look at this particular structure, you discover that almost all of them are what are passing the design. It's a particular one, and we are having, is it here or something like that? Okay, this one is different. Okay, is this one? Okay, which one is that? I'm coming. There was one that was giving us a different section size, but I'm going to be explaining here. Is that okay? In this particular video, how if you have a different section, is that okay? If you have a different size of steel, how do you go about it in your detailing? Is that okay? In your detail, I'm trying to see. I'm coming. Okay, this one. Okay, still 90. Okay, I'm coming. All right, still the same. So that is that. But I'm going to explain something to you so that in case you find yourself in such a scenario, so that you know what to do. Is that okay? All right. So let's assume that we are seeing this one now. Understand? This is a 90 by 90 by 12. Is that okay? So how do you go about the detailing? But first of all, let's now enter into the detailing aspect. Now this is ProtaStructure. Is that okay? 2025. Is that okay? So if your own is not working, you can let us know. Is that okay? All right. So if you need any software, you can contact us through our channel, through our seller. Is that okay? That you are going to be seeing, that we are seeing from this video. You contact us through our WhatsApp number on this particular video. Is that okay? All right. So having said that, now how do you now go about detailing this? Is that okay? Don't forget that before you start your steel detailing, you must have also detailed your beam. All these beams and columns, the foundation, everything needs what? Detailing. Is that okay? And how do you detail it properly? You need any other software called Stonebridge detailing template, because you need to detail the concrete aspect and also detail the steel aspect. Is that okay? For a proper and a complete working drawing. Is that okay? All right. In terms of the structural aspect of this, is that okay? All right. So including your walls, is that okay? Including your walls and everything has to be detailed, on your slab and the rest. Is that okay? That's why Stonebridge detailing template is globally accepted. Is that okay? You can use it to detail your drawings. Is that okay? Don't just depend on only AutoCAD. You need that particular software. Is that okay? Which is your work, which is your detailing, and at the end you achieve a global accepted working drawing of your structures. Okay. All right. Now, having explained that on the software to use for your detailing, which is Stonebridge, also when it comes to even steel detailing, we also need that software called Stonebridge, because we have different functions of that stone brick, which reduces your work to 80% or 50%, or let me, whichever way. Is that okay? Depend on how fast you are. Okay, so now that we have done all of this, we must have exported all of this through what we call through our ProtaDetail. That's for the concrete aspect. But when it comes to steel aspect, we cannot use the ProtaDetail. What we use was ProtaSteel, because we are talking of steel, isn't it? So for concrete, we use a ProtaDetail, but for steel, we make use of what? Of a ProtaSteel. Is that okay? So that is that. So for us to do this one now, the next we are going to do now, let me first of all save. Let me click on save. Okay. All right. So the next thing now, I will now click on what? On a ProtaSteel. I'll click on it, and therefore let's wait for it. Is that okay? So you can see it's coming up. It's coming up. So as you can see, it's still coming up. You can see it's importing. So let's wait for it. It's still importing. Let's wait for it. So you can see we come here and click on this close and wait for it. So you can now see it here. Can you see it has come? So you can see what we have. Can you see it now? Now, as you have seen it here, for you to be able to rotate, if you just right click and press it down and you are trying to rotate, can you see it might go off your screen? I always tell people this. Is that okay? It will go off your screen. So how do you ensure that as you are trying to rotate your drawing, it's not going off the screen? You can just click, zoom it and click anywhere, for example maybe at the center here, then you can now rotate. Can you see that place will not go off your screen? Anywhere you want to work on, and you discover that if you just click somewhere else, that place will go off the screen, just click on that particular place. For example, if it's here, I click, you can see that place will always remain on the screen, while other place can go off the screen. So can you see it now? So that is that. So first of all, in this detailing aspect, it comprises a lot of things. Is that okay? We have the cutting of the section aspect, we have the connection aspect, we have the exportation aspect. We have a lot of things in this aspect. So I might not be able to take all of them, because if I'm to take them, it might take us hours. Is that okay? To do that. But to reduce the length, as I was saying the other time, that if you look at this particular place, to save yourself of stress, if you look at this particular structure, you will see that from this point here to this point here is the same thing all through, which means they have the same width, isn't it? Since they have the same width, the same height, there's no difference about that. They have similarities. Correct, good and fine. It then means that if I can detail one of these, if I detail, for example, this one now, this first truss here, let's say this line, this particular one like this to that side, if I should detail it, automatically I've detailed all of them. That's one thing I want you to know. Now, if for example this one is 90 by 90 by 12, I'm talking about this one, double angle iron 90 by 90 by 12, as I've already shown you the other time. And along the line, we now discover that maybe majority of them are failing, which we have done last time, and those one that it's now passing with what, 90 by 90 by 13, for example. Now what you need to do, you can now detail all of them as 90 by 90 by 13 to save yourself of stress, which automatically have made every other one towards even pass more than even expected, isn't it? That is that. Except in the scenario whereby we are having so many of these, and majority, like 80% to, sorry, let's say 95% of them are just 90 by 90 by 12, and just only one that is different in terms of size. We are now having, like, for example, 100 by 100 by 10, for example. Then in such a scenario, we might need to detail 2. Understand? And that 2, the second one, which is 100 by 100 by 10, we must indicate it where it is, the location on the drawing during your section. I get what I'm saying now? Or during your, what do you call it, area view. You must locate that point during your area view. For example, let me bring this view down. Is that okay? Let me say story 3. Let me double click on it. Can you see it now? Now, when you export this, you must indicate, if it's, for example, it's number 6, that is that. You must locate that it's number 6. That is having that 100 by 100 by 10. It's very simple. While other ones remain to be what? 90 by 90 by 12. Do you get the point? So now, but if you look at it, some of these parts are not showing. Your polines, they are not showing. Since they are not, polines are not showing, I'll come here now, double click. Is it double click? No, this is to rename. I mean, yes, it's still not to rename. Double click on empty space. You can see where I double click, not inside here, but empty space here. Double click here and come here. Can you see this? We are seeing up plus, down minus. So I'll come to this place now, turn them to 0. Turn them to 0. Have you seen it? Sorry, turn them to 0 and click on apply and then click on OK. So can you now see it now? Our polines have already shown. They are all showing. Can you see it now? So in this case now, I can now have my what? My indicate that particular trusses that is different among these. Is that okay? I'm assuming that it's what, number 12. Is that okay? Through my top. So on that case now, I'll go back to my 3D view. All right. So I haven't explained that now. Excuse me. I haven't explained that now. The next thing now is to now start your connections. Is that okay? The next thing to now start your connection. And for the connection aspect, I haven't explained this one now. The next thing is our connection. So for us to do that, don't forget I'm going to be showing you how to do your cutting. That's a section of cutting of section, so that people will be able to see how it is up to the foundation and all of that, and also how to export to AutoCAD. Is that okay? So that is that. Now next class now, I'm going to show you the connection of this. Is that okay? Once I've done the connection, we might even end up using one at the middle, maybe some of this one here or the edge, whichever one. We can choose any of them. Once we use it, you see how it comes out, the section and everything, in which we are going to export it to AutoCAD. So today, just to explain, next class I'm going to go straight to the point of doing the connection and all of that. Is that okay? All right. So before then, I need to walk you through this. Is that okay? I need to walk you through this particular place. This place we are seeing macro gallery. This is where you perform all the magic, whatever thing you need. This is where you pick it from. Now, if you look at this recent, can you see? I've not picked anything from here. I have not picked anything from here. You see, I want to take it step by step because so many people are having challenges when it comes to steel. I don't want to rush and I don't want to omit anything. So now, if you look at this recent, it means that if I pick anything here, whatever thing I have picked here, as many of the things I've picked from here, it will appear around here, which means recent, isn't it? So, but now I've not touched anything here, I've not picked anything here, I've not made use of anything here. That's why this place is what is empty. Now, coming to this place now, you have beam to beam connections. That is why when it comes to steel, as a structural engineer, you must know what you want to do. If you don't know what you want to do, you will get confused when you get to this place. You will be, you will be guessing, and which is not correct. Is that okay? It's not correct to be guessing. Is that okay? All right. So I'll come here now. If I want to connect beam to beam, can you see we have different type of connections here? When it comes to beam connection, we have beam to beam end plate. We have a stiffened end plate, and we have a thin plate, and the rest of them. Is that okay? Apex and all of that. So now, instead of me to come here and click on this, if I don't want this place now, I can come here, click on this arrow, it goes back in. Can you see now? I'll come to the next one, which was beam to column. Now, I only come here, beam to column, if what I want to connect here is from beams. This beam, for example, let's say this is a steel beam. Let's say this is the steel beam and this is the column. I want to connect this one and this one together, but this one is not steel, this is concrete. Is that okay? And let's say this is stanchion now. When it comes to steel, your column, your steel column, you don't call it column, we call it stanchion. Though some call it steel column, but the right word is what? Is stanchion. Is that okay? Don't forget we have stanchion, we have pedestal and the rest. Is that okay? So all right. So if this is a steel beam now and this is steel column, which is a stanchion, I'll come here and click on what? Beam to column connection, which is here. I'll click on this one. Can you see your column? You can see your beam. Can you see now? This is a stanchion, this is a steel beam. Can you see it now? You can pick any of them that's best suit your connection. So if I pick any of them and I want to go to another thing, I can now, or another type of connection, I'll click on this place to go back. If you like, you can still leave it and scroll down and then come here, click on this one. Can you see we are having many openings? Is that okay? Many connection open on ground. So to avoid that, I can click on this one. Then that is that connect what I'm doing. Then the next thing was brace connection. Is that okay? This one has to do with your bottom cord, to be connected to your, what do you call it, diagonals and all of that, vertical and horizontal diagonals. Is that okay? This is what we call bottom chord, and this is what we call top chord. Is that okay? It's not a single chord. This is a double chord. Up and down is double chord. So at the down chord is what? Bottom chord, and the top chord is what? Top chord. And these are the diagonals. Is that okay? We have the vertical diagonals and horizontal. Is that okay? So we have the verticals and the diagonals. Is that okay? These are diagonals and these are the verticals. Is that okay? That separated the bottom chord and the top chord. Is that okay? Now, if I want to connect this bottom chord, if I want to connect all of this vertical and this diagonal to this bottom chord, I come to where? I come to your brace connection, which is here. Is that okay? This is what to make use of. Is that okay? So that's that. I want to take my time to teach you this. Is that okay? I don't want to rush it, for better understanding, so that at the end of this video, this particular set of video, you will know that yes, when it comes to steel, at least you have gained some should I say experiences now. Is that okay? All right, that is fine. That you're able to handle steel, even though you need question just a little touch. Is that okay? All right, or a little clarification. Is that clear? All right, we have done this video from beginning up to this stage, from the G8 stage to this stage. Is that okay? All right, that is fine. So now, if you want to now collect splice, is that okay? Can you see this one? When you want to connect two beams together, is that okay? Two beams together, for example, if you have more beams here, not around the column, maybe around here, for example, we have beam here, we have beam here, and they are still beam, and definitely they need connection. If it's not welding connection, it's going to be what? And you want to use a splice connection, you can come here, pick this one and connect the two beams together. Is that okay? Maybe the length is much. Is that okay? And only one beam cannot take care of it. You need two beams. Is that okay? To connect it. So you can use make use of this. I'll take it back in, and then if I want to connect per line, I also come here. You can see per line, and definitely your per line is in direct contact with your beams. Sorry, with your your rafters. Is that okay? Which now in this case now is our top chord. Our top chord here becomes our rafter, isn't it? Though we have top chord and bottom chord. In this case now, we connect this per line to what? To the top chord, isn't it? So for us to connect this per line to the top chord, we have to make use of this per line and GAT connection. Is that okay? There's something called GAT connection, which is different from this. Is that okay? So that's fine. Then base plate, can you see? We have a different kind of a base plate here, different type. That is, if this one now, if this particular ones, for example, something's happening here. So if this particular one is a steel connection, which is a stanchion, and this is our pedestal. Is that okay? This is our pedestal. So there's need for us to connect this my steel column, which is a stanchion, to my what? To my base plate. Is that okay? There's a base plate here. Is that okay? So on that note now, I have to make use of this. Is that okay? And detail it out. Is that okay? So then the next is truss connection. Okay, can you see? These are different truss connection depending on what you want to do and the rest. These are details. Is that okay? If you need this kind of connection, you come to detailing, and you can see this auxiliary steel work. Can you see? If you need all of this type of connection around here, can you see all of this? You can also come here. So everything you need, you can get it here. You can see your anchor bolt. Like you can see your anchor bolt, and you can see your stud. Can you see? Most of the time we make use of these when we are doing a composite. Understand? Composite, when you are designing for maybe your structure is a composite structure. Is that okay? You cannot do without this. I bet you cannot do without this stud. Is that okay? So that is it. That's its own function, and it's very, very important. You can't do without it. I repeat it, you can't do it without it. So that is that. And also the user defender at the end. So majorly is here. Okay, so these are the things we have when it comes to ProtaSteel. Is that okay? Which you cannot do without. So you must know the function of all of these, how to manipulate the settings you need to do, and all of that before you can now come here and begin to do your connections. You must know what you want to do before you come here and pick. Is that okay? So in our next class now, I'm going to now be showing you the settings we need to do, major settings we need to do, and then it might not be all the settings. There are things you need to do if you know what you are doing. Is that okay? If you know what you are doing, understand there are some settings you need to do this connection here. Is that okay? So which I'm going to be explaining in our next next class. So thank you very much till I see you in our next video, because I don't want this video to be too long. Is that okay? The shorter the video is, the better and the more interesting it is, and the better you assimilate. Is that okay? All right, that is fine. So at least from what I have explained now, we have known this up to this stage. So watch out for the next stage, which we are going to be doing one or two things to go further in our learning of this particular steel structure. Is that okay? Structure with a steel roof. Is that okay? Thank you very much. Please don't forget to like and also subscribe to our channel. As I always say, subscribing is what is free. You don't have to pay any money. And also don't forget, after you have clicked on subscribe button, don't forget to also click on notification bell, because that is where you can now be, after that you'll be able to be notified each time we release our videos. Is that okay? So thank you very much. Without clicking on notification bell, if you release video, you will not be notified. So in order to be notified, you have to do a click on the notification bell, so that your clicking on subscription will not be in vain. Is that okay? So thank you very much, and I want to say bye. We love you from Ekidel, and God bless us. Amen.